That is why VPIRG is out there day after day, knocking on doors, having critically important conversations, and making it easy for Vermonters to join.
Welcome back to beautiful scenic Burlington.
Every voice matters. Every choice matters.
It's around 4 p.m. on June 14th.
And when enough of us stand up, courage becomes
at the No Kings protest.
What we are seeing out of Washington
Waterfront
today is not democracy. It's not patriotism. It is
Crowd
tyranny.
is a lot smaller than it was a couple hours ago.
And I know well that here in Vermont we say no crowns, no thrones, no kings. This is the fight of our lives, and no matter how long it takes, VPIRG will be here. So let's stand up, let's show up, and let's work together until we have our democracy back. We ride at dawn, and we have no kings. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Give it up for Josh. Next up, we have Nikhil Goyal, a sociologist at the University of Vermont.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you. My name is Nikhil Goyal. I'm a sociologist at the University of Vermont and former senior policy advisor for Senator Bernie Sanders. And I'm also a proud graduate of Goddard College. We are here today because we recognize that politics is not entertainment. Politics determines who lives and who dies, who thrives and who suffers. Today, we need fighters, not cowards, truth tellers, not fraudsters, healers, not demagogues, and patriots, not tyrants. Donald Trump is waging a campaign of terror. This is a campaign to terrorize our immigrant communities. This is a campaign to crack down on free speech, shred the U.S. Constitution, and force people to live in fear of persecution. This year, ICE has arrested children who are battling cancer, a high school student about to walk in his graduation, a college student for writing an op-ed in her school newspaper. ICE has arrested migrant workers building the affordable housing that our state desperately needs. And ICE has arrested migrant farm workers who milk our cows and sow and harvest our fruits and vegetables and feed our children. We're told that these people are dangerous and pose a risk to the national security of our country. It is time to call out their lies. Donald Trump isn't tough. Donald Trump is a goddamn coward. We are gathered here today to send a clear message to the thug in the White House. Vermont will never surrender. Our brave little state will never back down. We will never stay silent because we love all of our neighbors, no matter their race, their gender, who they love, whether they were born here or whether they immigrated here. And we will fight like hell to protect them from harm's way. That is what we do as Vermonters. That is just who we are as a people. And I say that when you come for one of us, you better get through all of us before you get to them. The billionaire class wants us to believe that our enemy is each other. They want us to be busy fighting for the crumbs while they accumulate more and more wealth for themselves. Trump wants us to forget that he is waging a war on the working class of our country to pay for tax cuts for billionaires. He wants us to forget that he is cutting $600 billion from Medicaid, which would throw 16 million people off of their health care and shut down rural hospitals in Vermont and across the country. He wants us to forget that he is cutting nearly $300 billion from SNAP, which would force more than 3 million people to lose their food assistance and go hungry. He wants us to forget that he is investing $20 billion in private school vouchers to privatize our public schools and lay off our educators. We must fight for an agenda that guarantees dignity and economic security for all Americans, and that starts right here in Vermont. And I've got a message for Governor Phil Scott and our legislature. When Trump's vultures are circling our schools, it is unacceptable that our Senate Democratic leadership has been working overtime to attack our public schools and educators, appointing an anti-public education senator to head the Senate Education Committee, allowing some private schools to get more funding than public schools. A foundation formula that would cut millions of dollars from Burlington and Winooski schools. If I were a legislator, I would vote no on H454. It is time to fight for fully funded public community schools and keep public dollars in public schools. And address the biggest cost drivers of skyrocketing property taxes, that is healthcare. It is time to save our rural hospitals and reduce the cost of care by investing in community-based care and breaking up corporate monopolies. And it is time to end the crisis of mass incarceration and cancel our state contract with a for-profit prison in Mississippi, because we cannot be in the business of locking people up for profit. We are told that if we fight for one group of people, then it must come at the expense of another. When we fight for women to have the right to control their own bodies, that does not diminish the humanity of men. When we fight to end structural racism against black and brown folks, that does not diminish the humanity of white folks. When we fight to end Palestinian suffering and the bombings and famine in Gaza, that does not diminish the humanity of our Jewish brothers and sisters. When we fight to bring the hostages home and end the evils of anti-Semitism, that does not diminish the humanity of our Muslim and Arab brothers and sisters. An injury to one is an injury to all. So when they write the story of 2025, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want the people of Vermont to be remembered? And I want to make a special plea to every natural-born U.S. citizen. If there is a time in your life to be brave, it is now. If there is a time to speak out, it is now. If there is a time to put your body on the line, it is now. And if there is a time to show up, it is now. What I know is that when the story of the rebirth of American democracy is written, it will begin in the river valleys, the rolling hills, and the rugged mountains of Vermont. With Head Start educators in Rutland who care for our kiddos. With the farmers in Franklin who put food on our dinner tables. With the nurses at North Country Hospital who heal the sick. With the teachers in Barrie who help our children become decent citizens and human beings. With the home health aides in Dorset who bathe and care for our elders in the twilight of life. The rebirth of American democracy will begin with the patriots of our brave little state, who show up every day, work their fingers to the bone, and keep hope alive for all of us. Vermont, this is our moment in history. Together, we will renew our creed and save our democracy. Thank you very much.
Next up is a man who needs no introduction, Treasurer Mike Pichak.
Well, good afternoon, Burlington. It's nice to see you. As Jerry said, I'm Mike Pichak, your state treasurer, and it's an honor to be here with you this afternoon to celebrate our shared love of our country, to recommit to the values that make America truly great: opportunity, dignity, and justice. And to say clearly and without apology that Donald Trump has no place in the future that we are building together. You know, in the weeks leading up to this event, I spent a lot of time thinking about the simple but important question: what exactly does it mean to love your country? Is it displaying a flag? Is it wearing red, white, and blue? Or is it showing up and standing here on the waterfront, shoulder to shoulder, using your voice to defend what that flag truly stands for? Because today is Flag Day, And you can think of nothing more patriotic than what every single one of you is doing right now. Not just here in Burlington, but all across Vermont and all across this country. You are standing up. You are speaking out. You are using your First Amendment rights, the very First Amendment in the Constitution, to defend something bigger than yourselves, to defend your communities, to defend our democracy, and to defend our future. We don't live in a kingdom here in Vermont. We don't bow to tyrants, and we don't pledge loyalty to a single man. We pledge our loyalty to an idea that it is we, the people, that truly hold the power in this country. And that's what today is all about. Now, what's happening in Washington, D.C.? We've heard that Donald Trump and his allies are pushing something called the Big Beautiful Bill. But let's be honest, it's not beautiful, it is brutal. It would slash health care for millions of Americans. It would cut food assistance for millions more. It would pull the rug out from working families, seniors, and our most vulnerable residents. Also, Donald Trump can give another round of tax breaks to those who are the wealthy few. This is economic cruelty masked as economic policy. A government and a government's budget is a moral document. And what that bill says that they're working on in Washington, D.C. in hard, cold numbers is that poor people don't matter, but the powerful and wealthy do. And we're here to loudly and unequivocally say, we reject this reality. We believe that no one should be punished for asking for help. We believe that dignity is not a luxury, but it is a fundamental right. And we believe that the ultimate strength of a nation is not measured by the wealth at the top of the pyramid, but by how we care for the most vulnerable members among us. Now, we've seen the same cruelty in their immigration policies. We've seen this right here in Vermont. In Franklin County, migrant workers were taken off a farm. Workers building affordable housing in Newport were arrested, and their whereabouts are still unknown. Mosen, who spoke earlier, was detained and nearly deported to a jurisdiction where he would have had fewer rights and fewer protections. This is not abstract what's happening in our state and in our country. These are real people. These are our neighbors who are being targeted, dehumanized, and separated from their communities and their families. It's why last month I helped launch the Vermont Immigration Legal Defense Fund with the goal of raising $1 million to provide resources to ensure no one faces deportation without a lawyer by their side. To make sure that everyone, regardless of status, has due process and a fair shot at justice. Because defending somebody's civil liberties, standing up for fairness, for dignity, and for justice, it is one of the most American things we can do. So, if you're looking for a way to take action today, to channel your outrage into impact, I urge you to support this fund. You're not just simply donating, you're helping give someone a fighting chance. Now, in closing, I want to close on something personal. My mom, Carolyn, passed away last month after a long battle with lung cancer. She was my compass, she was my example, and she was the quiet force behind everything that I believe about in public service. My mom helped establish and then for 40 years helped run St. Bridget's Food Kitchen in Brattleboro, a place that served hot meals with humility and with heart. But more than that, it was a place where people were seen, a place where no one was turned away, a place where everybody, no matter their background or their story, was treated with respect and with dignity. She didn't do this for attention. She did this because she believed at her core that it is all of our responsibilities to take care of one another. While she was in the hospital not long before she passed away, she asked me, Michael, are you planning to keep standing up to Donald Trump? And I told her, Mom,
How's it going, guys?
I'm planning to do that.
Good?
She asked
Good?
me, "Are you
Seen any
afraid?" And I said
incidents
no,
today?
because we're
to
standing
hear.
on the right side of history.
It's been hot out there, too. Have a good one.
She smiled and said, good, I'm glad to hear that. And I've thought about that moment again and again over the last few weeks, and I've come to believe this. Standing up to Donald Trump, or to any force that seeks to divide us and dehumanize us, isn't about simply giving speeches and passing laws. It's about showing up for each other. It's about kindness when no one is watching. It's about defending someone who's vulnerable, even when it's hard. And it's about building communities where everybody belongs. So today I want to leave you with this simple invitation. Take one action. Maybe it's donating to the Legal Defense Fund. Maybe it's helping your neighbor. Maybe it's raising your voice when somebody else is being silenced. Whatever it is, do it boldly, do it with purpose, and do it like someone who still believes that this country belongs to all of us. When I leave here today, I won't just be thinking about the work that lies ahead. I'll be thinking about the example that my mom set. How she believed that real patriotism isn't loud, it isn't angry, it doesn't come from parades or from power, it comes from service. It comes from compassion, from showing up for your community and fighting like hell for what is right. That is the America that we're standing up for. That is the America that we still believe in. And that is the America we will build together. Thank you so much.
Next up, we have Kristen Murphy, Executive Director of the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council.
Hello, Vermont. Thank you. It's kind of tough to have to follow the treasurer, but I'll do my best. Because I came in the program sort of very toward the end, I was asked to try to say something about hope in this environment. That's kind of tough, but I am here to tell you that through my work with the Developmental Disabilities Council, I've gotten to learn carefully the long arc of disability rights in our country, and it is a story of hope. And we are facing setbacks. You got to see my wonderful colleague, Max Barrow, speak earlier, and we are under tremendous threat. But overall, it is a story of hope. Hope is the thing with feathers, said Emily Dickinson, right? Delicate, fragile, fleeting, but critical. So I'm going to tell this story through the eyes of one of my council members, a gentleman who grew up in Vermont. He's my age. I'll call him John for his privacy. He grew up in the Northeast Kingdom, tucked up right up against Canada. And because he's my age, when he first entered school as a child with cerebral palsy and an intellectual disability, he did not have strong laws in place to demand that he get a free and appropriate education. But his parents were scrappy Vermonters, a school teacher and a stay-at-home mom, and they made sure that he was in his general education classroom long before that was the law. They made sure he had the therapies to maximize his ability to move around. They made sure he had art lessons and developed the talents that he was born with. And then he grew out of school and he graduated. And then in our country, we still hadn't had the Olmsted VLC Supreme Court decision. So we didn't know yet that people would be told they had a right to receive their support services in the community. That didn't happen until 1999. So my friend went to a nursing home. After all the incredible investment in his human potential, he lived in a nursing home for his 20s and into his 30s. And it wasn't until 2005 that Vermont created a program for people like my friend John, so he could move into his own apartment, which he did with immense joy. And he could start exploring his interests, because he's a very interesting guy. He's interested in everything. He got his ham radio license. He was really active in his church because he could roll across the street and go there. He got a pastoral counseling certificate and started to go to the nursing home he used to live in and offer companionship and comfort to the residents who were still trapped there. But we didn't continue investing in that vision of community. And this administration will pull back to a cruel level that funding. It's already delicate, fleeting. During COVID, my friend had a fall and he was injured, his hip was injured. And that started a 3-year spiral of weakening muscles and inadequate support. On a typical week, he only had 3 hours of home health care visiting him to help him with his activities of daily living. And his muscles weakened, and it became harder and harder for him to transfer from his chair to his bed, from his chair to where he needed to be. And finally, he was put in a nursing home. And he lives in a nursing home now 3 hours away from the town where he grew up and where he knew everyone. He should be here today telling his story, but there is no way to fund transportation in our system right now to get him here in a wheelchair accessible van. His mother passed away shortly after he moved to the nursing home. She was 98. There was no funding or mechanism for him to travel up north to pay his respects at his mother's final service. So hope is delicate, fleeting, but we have done well in this country in the past by people with disabilities, and we can do it again. Thank you for all listening.
Let's give it up for all of you, the diehards who made it all the way through. You know, what Representative Balin said was right. You know, we get energy by giving energy. I'm surviving on 3 hours of sleep from last night. And that's not unusual for me. Somehow I'm holding a full-time job and doing all this organization stuff at the same time. And it's only possible because of you, of all of you who are giving me energy and filling my cup. It's these events like these that make it possible for me and make it possible for us to build a better future for ourselves and for our country. Thank you all. And I want to make sure you come out again next month, because we are going to keep on doing this every single month, every single year, until we bring them down. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Yeah, you're indefatigable.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you covering that ICE event. You had my speech. You're the only person who actually got my speech from the City Hall. Nobody else.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
else got a photo of me. Nobody else got a video. Of me.
Oh well, I'm glad I could get that. Yeah.
Dude, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the hard work. And I'm really sorry that some of the locals are not so nice. I see the videos; they're not very nice to me. And I'm like, you gotta do it.
Most people are, you know.
I hope so. But if they're not, just know that your contribution is very important to the community. Thank you so much, my boys.
I'm seeing you all over the place. Though.
Yeah,
You're staying
public
busy.
access gives me this ability to travel around.
Yeah.
That event I was organizing, so that was quite a little different. I usually don't organize, so I do things like that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Had a lot of energy, I thought.
Yeah, this is very real. And also, I'm going to be doing more events near the Tiffany Correctional Facility, where the women's prisoners and immigrants are.
Wait, so which one is that? Is that
That's
the
on
one?
the 7th Farrell Street.
That's the one on Farrell Street. Okay.
Oh, I have no idea.
Ellie, when did you say the like Chittenden?
Chittenden Correctional Facility, that's on Farrell Street.
Yeah.
Next to that little VGS, Vermont Gas Company building.
And do you know when?
I mean, they're transporting people all the time. I am not sure as of right now, but I'm thinking about organizing another rally or protest. Not rally.
Oh, 'cause they're.
Vigil protest.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go there during the daytime, as they were saying, on Mondays and Fridays, they literally have ICE vans transferring immigrants to airport, Patrick Leahy Airport, for departure every week.
Yeah.
Dozens of them every week.
Wow.
So I'm planning on being there. I guess a bunch of people went down to St. Albans, right?
That's what I was going to say. A bunch of people just went down to St. Albans.
Yeah, that one is a little further away.
Yeah.
A little remote. The other one is, this one is just right down in Burlington, very accessible. But a good intersection. So yeah, I will definitely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking around to
contact you. I
ask
don't
if you
know.
knew what next day we were going to be out there.
Well, I mean, I think to organize the immigrant community, and Muslim community, Fridays are the days that is just universally a good day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 5 p.m. And I'll make a poster.
Fridays will clash with the people that go on Belmore too, because they go there from like 4:45 till 5.
Right.
But if you could get them
Oh, we've got security, and these folks look like they're responsible for the stage. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, sir. Getting it all, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Hopefully no one ever wants to make the highlight real loud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. That surgery is, I think shoulder surgery they have a longer recovery than other things.
Hey, how you doing? I was just guessing from the logo that you're from Parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I didn't know they were working this event also. Yeah.
Yeah, we're here to make sure that the irrigation lines don't get punctured with the tents and all that.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
some sound readings and stuff, make sure everything's good.
Yeah, it was loud
Yeah.
by those speakers, I'll tell you.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Have a good day.
Enjoy. The tents have almost been broken down, almost all been broken down. Right. Another thing to take a look at here is the this is from the die-in. These are all the graves in the die-in graveyard. Hey. Oh man, I'm mumbling to myself. Maybe I've been out in the sun too long today. Wow. Look at this, look at the construction of this stage. So it like turns into a trailer, maybe? That's pretty wild.
Oh, there she is.
I don't even see a logo on this truck. The license plate says Dark Star. I wonder if that's the company. That's doing this. Sir, can I just ask you a question?
What's that?
May I ask what your company name is?
Dark Star Productions.
Dark Star Productions. All right. And you do stage rentals, I take it.
Stage, lighting, audio, video, you name it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's walk around and take a look from the other side. Beautiful. What a beautiful day. wind is not cooperating.
Soft goods are going to go on top of all of that stuff right there. These can go right in where the steps are.
You have to act like a stalk of broccoli and just lie around.
Straps on the deck and one on everything else. I'm going to do all week for the next out.
There you go. Thank you.
You have one more strap?
Church Street cheesesteaks is departing.
did like I was gonna do the tops and then do the legs. Because you did DMRS, but podcast on whoever had a DMRS. Well, they're like DMRS, you need like
I know.
just pay like $30 for a DMRS. But it's the same frequencies, but you need a permit for DMRS. Yeah, exactly. Well, that is go talk to the space station. Yeah. Nope. I don't know. And that was right.
I think we've been watching this fold up for about half an hour now. In my mind, it was almost gonna fold up like a transformer, but as we see, there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like 4 degrees, and it wasn't raining, and it wasn't snowing, so that's so yeah, I do have to spray it out, though. I'm like, yep, that's for the snow. Yeah. It's like sweet. It's not on recording. Hold it up nicely, then so they're both still a little bit larger than I would want. Yeah. I have no and this thing looks like it. Sony Sports. So semi-truck where it just folds out. Radio function probably just needs balance. So I need to just hang lights out. Yeah, so I haven't, that's like one of those projects that I've had in mind for a long time. I wanted to have the radio for going to the driver's computer, but I might even do that.
Oh, all right. I missed all the action. Staged by Dark Star Productions.
So if I
Goodbye from beautiful scenic Burlington.